Good morning, pre-K to third graders. Welcome to week 2 of virtual music learning. Last week, I was very happy with how everyone was able to access everything and get through what I had hoped we could get through in a first week of something as crazy as online learning. For this week, I've changed a few things. We're now using Quaver directly, so you don't have to be putting in all those class codes and watching those very delayed and glitchy videos. So it's going to be a lot better, I think, this week, and I'm going to spend some time now walking you through each part of the lesson so you know exactly what to do and what to do for each activity. So let me share my screen with everyone. Okay, hopefully you should be able to see everything I'm doing now. So I'm just going to be on kindergarten just for convenience, but this would look the same for pre-K, first, second, and third grade as well. So for this week, when you go to your classwork, under the specials, you'll see music, just like last week. So here is like your very easy guide to what you need to do for this week. So this is what you should always be using, whatever week we are on. This is like our lesson plan, okay? So open up that Google Doc, and I'm walking you through everything that you should do for this whole week. So you have today all the way through Friday to get everything done. Work on it during our normal specials time, if that works for you. But if you're someone who can't get on the computer till evening or whatever, use music as the one that is flexible for you. So that way you don't feel like you need to be doing everything right exactly when you normally would have. Okay, so our first activity for the week is a review from last week. We talked all about the woodwind family. So we have a coloring sheet that's going to help you to review what those instruments are in the woodwind family. So the directions are here. Where you'll find that is back on our classwork page. It says woodwind coloring sheet. Hopefully you have an access to a printer so you can print this out and color it. If not though, that's okay. If maybe you know how to use Google Draw or something, you can color it on there. But if not, that's okay. Just what I would like for you to do, either whether you are coloring it or not, is to make sure you can tell me the names of what each of those woodwind instruments are. Now this one we did not talk about in the woodwind family. This is the saxophone, so I'll tell you that one. That's the saxophone. And we didn't talk about that because the saxophone isn't usually in an orchestra. It's usually used in a jazz band or a rock band or a concert band, just not orchestra. So that's your first activity. If you can print this, make sure you can color it. If not, at least look at it and make sure you can tell me the names of those woodwinds. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back here. All right, so this is where the video is really important because I'm going to make sure you know how to get to all of our things on Quaver. So all of these activities, woodwind animal song, brass episode, the brass anatomy, and the Sousa book, they're all going to be on Quaver. So here's how you should get there. Go to quavermusic.com. You'll hit login. And let me make sure I show you. So you'll get this page. This is where you should put that username you made and the password you made. You shouldn't have to add the Quaver code if you already did. But if you did not, look for where is it? Quaver student account setup has those codes in there, okay? All right, so here we are. Enter, this is my student account, not my teacher account. And you click assignments. Now I have all of them here because I wanted to make sure I could see what everything looks like, but yours will just have pre-K to 3. And you're going to hit this red rectangle and then either assignments or launch works. Okay, that's going to take you to everything you should do for this week. You don't turn this stuff in on Quaver. These are just the activities for you to do. Okay, so here's the first one, Woodwind Animals. It's a fun song all about the woodwinds. Listen to it the first time and try and figure out which woodwinds do we hear? And then you can listen to it a few more times, sing along. I want you to pretend to play the instruments like we did in class a few weeks ago. And maybe you can even dance around like your favorite animals, since that's part of the song too. Okay, so that was number 2 here, all of those directions. Now to get to the brass episode for number 3, you just hit next and it'll take you right here. Now this will be so much better than last week since this is the actual video. You'll just click on it, you can make it bigger. If you want subtitles,
just in time.
that'll work. And you can watch that whole episode. There are a few questions I want you to be thinking about in your head as you watch the episode. So read those before you watch it, okay? Next, we have our anatomies, meaning the different parts of the brass instruments. Last week, we learned about woodwinds. Now, once I hit next, it takes me to the brass. So start with the trumpet and check what all of these different parts of the trumpet are. Then you can listen to it, go over to the other brass instruments, okay? Go through all of them. Afterwards, I want you to think, maybe you could tell mom or dad or brother and sister, what types of things do all the brass instruments have in common, meaning what's the same about them? And then talk about what's different, okay? So that is number 4. Now, because we're talking about brass instruments, you're gonna get to learn about a very important man from music who did a lot of great things for brass players, okay? So his name was John Philip Sousa. Make sure you do the basic book, the red one. It should just open. And John Philip Sousa, you'll learn all about him, but just a little bit. He was a very important man in the marching band world and for the United States government. And he had these really important bands, and he was just really incredible and wrote lots of great music that has good brass music parts. Okay, so that's the Sousa book. And then if you hit next and you get back here, that means you did everything. So then you are done with Quaver. Remember, you don't need to turn anything in on there, so it'll still say it's incomplete, but I'm not looking to grade those, okay? After you did all of the Quaver things, then you're going to do the brass questions assignment. Now, anything I ask for you to turn in, will be on Google Classroom, okay? So if you go back to your music classwork, brass questions, to do this and turn it in, you'll hit the document and you can fill in all of the answers. Definitely have a parent help you with this so you can make sure you get all of your words spelled right. And then this is my teacher one, so it doesn't have it, but yours up here should have a button that says turn in. When you're done, make sure you click that because that's the only way it sends it to Mr. V and I can see what you wrote, okay? And that's how I can give you points for this week. And the last thing you do is we have another song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. I think this is a great song for us to sing along to this week, just as we're going through this very different and scary time a little bit, but just knowing that one day, hopefully sooner than later, this will all be behind us and we will be able to go out and have peace on earth once more, okay? So please, parents and kids, don't be afraid to send me any emails or set up a Google Hangout if you need some help with anything, especially if you were someone who didn't get the Quaver thing figured out last week. I'm here to help, okay? All right, everyone. I will see you next week for my video for week 3, and please reach out for any help. Bye-bye.